Dawntrail. So I've read a lot of reviews of Dawntrail, a lot of zeros and ones. No, it's not that. Like, stop being fucking stupid. Stop being retarded. It's not zeros and ones, Dawntrail. You're fucking stupid if you think that. Like, I get it. You're on the internet. You're like terminally online, and you think that everything has to be like either the best thing ever. Oh my god, blow your load to it every day 5 times. Or it's like the worst thing ever. Nothing will be worse than it. It will always be the worst, except for the thing that's going to come after it, and that will always be the worst. Or whatever. Like, no, stop it. Just stop. Don't. Stop. Give it a fair fucking score and stop being retarded. This was a... I don't like giving number scores, but, you know, people love it because they can't fucking think for themselves or be bothered to like read and have any kind of nuanced take. So this would be like in like 7 out of 10. I'll give it a 7, which means nothing. Like, Wuklamat was a bit much. All right, it was a bit. Oh, everything's always happy and I'm gonna be the best and everything. Like, no, sure, whatever. But like, nobody wants to hear that. The music was great. I've heard people say like the music was forgettable. No. The main sequence, the main music that we're hearing right now, maybe a little bit overdone. And by a little bit, I mean way overdone. But there are some truly amazing songs in here. I would say that the first, because this is divided into 3 acts. The first, where you're going to all the little areas and helping Wuklamat and eventually Kawana, whatever, like become the Dawn Servant. I was so happy that wasn't the entire expansion. It's fine. Some parts of it were cool. The killings of like, this is gonna sound awful, but like the killings of like hundreds of babies to make the Jaja, like the 2-headed, what do they call them? The like the blessed ones or whatever. That was a pretty fucking dark turn for it. I really like that, because a lot of this was, oh, we're gonna unite everybody and make but like there's some fucked up shit in a little bit of it. The second and third parts, so I would say the second act was whenever you find like you go into the dome and you have to kill fucking, what's his name, Zoralja. All of that shit I really liked. And then the Sphene third part that we just got done with Alexandria and everything, that all of that shit was super dope. It was basically like they took Vivi's existential dread from Final Fantasy IX and basically turned it into a full game. I disagree a little bit with, like, people are like, oh, there's so many plot holes and stuff. Like, I didn't really get that. There's a few things that, sure, maybe they didn't explain very well, but as far as like plot holes, I don't know if I agree with that. Wuklamat definitely was not as in your face in the latter half as she was in the first part, or at least in the latter third, the third act. She was still there, but it wasn't anything like anyone, like most people are saying. I don't know, maybe I played a different game, because a lot of people were just, dude, people do not like this expansion. I thought it was fine. It seems like there's this weirdly like vitriolic, like I just said earlier, like it's either the best thing ever or the worst thing. It was fine. It was like, I don't like I can't, like, some people get so angry about this, and it seems like that's, to me, very, I don't have the energy to get that angry about a video game. I'm sorry, I just don't. It's fine. Um, I'm a little. Here's some things I will say that I'm not. I wish had happened. The crate right here, like the crazy. I forgot even what they called it, but you have to beat this, and it was like in the middle of the first part of the game. The first act is. It should have been Quetzalcoatl from Final Fantasy VIII. But that seemed like such like low-hanging fruit of putting like Quetzalcoatl the summon. Like it's one of the first summons you get, the lightning. Like it's very odd to me that was not included in any of this, being like a Native American like kind of backdrop or whatever, like zones and everything, until you get into the futuristic like other reflection stuff. That was a little weird. And I think, one thing I did love was we have tacos, and I fucking love Mexican food. Could eat it forever. So that was like a pure win. But something I really, really wish, and they just ever so slightly referenced it, is with all the souls and them consuming ether to sustain the souls and the endless and all of that. Why the fuck did they not put Zero in here? And I read, like, I didn't know this. I generally don't read up on reviews and stuff, but the other day I did. I got curious, and a lot of people did not like the Zero stuff. Weirdly enough, like, I thought that was some of the coolest shit in the game. I'm a big Final Fantasy IV fan, so all of that stuff that was after the end of Endwalker, like the post-main story, like patches with Zero and all of that, I thought that was some of the coolest shit ever. So I am in the very vast minority of all of the people, because a lot of people did not like that. They like, oh, that was trash. They hated it. I thought it was the coolest shit in the game. So for me, like, I would have liked to see Zero here, because of the like clear parallel kind of paths the story is taken, because they consume ether to keep themselves alive. They consume other entities and stuff. So yeah, I think that was a huge missed opportunity there. I'd like to know what she would have thought about it. Maybe she comes up in this post patches or whatever. I've seen one or two people say the music was like forgettable. I just completely disagree with that. There's some really badass stuff. There's a lot of Native American like inspired stuff, like pan flutes and things like that. And I love Chrono Cross. A lot of the music in here, especially in like the first half, definitely gave me a lot of like Chrono Crossy vibes. Oh yeah, and just seeing this, I did not expect. I guess I should have, but we got some like pure like Western stuff in here, and that was super cool. Like, I really, really enjoyed that part of the game. Coming to these old towns that are, I mean, they're just Western, like Red Dead Redemption kind of stuff. Very, very cool. I love that part. I live in Texas, so yeah, it's very cool. And yeah, I think it's a good, like, maybe 7 out of 10 if you want to do that. I generally don't like giving number scores to stuff, because there's so many subjective, like, a video game is purely subjective art, and it's weird that people are like, oh, video games aren't art. No, they are. How can they not be? They have writing, which is art. They have music, which is art. They have acting, which is art. They have visuals, which is when most people think of art, that's what they think of. how can you put all of these like artistic things together and call it not art? That's a really fucking retarded take. I don't know. It's stupid to me, but whatever. So like something composed of so many subjective things and giving it an objective number is, I think, a little bit disingenuous, and I don't like to do that. But if I had to, because people are so stupid that they can't, like, in like even this, like, nobody's going to listen to me talk about this whenever I put it up online. They're like, oh, what's the number, so I can get it or not. Like, I think that's so fucking stupid. But if I had to, I'd say maybe like a 7. But like, you're gonna play it anyway. Like, it's crazy to not, if you're this far in Final Fantasy XIV. Some people are like, oh, if they don't make a good expansion next time, this game is gonna die. No, it's not. You're stupid. You're retarded for even like entertaining that idea. But yeah, that's what I think of it. That was okay. Like the music. Aaronville, super dope. Kawana, I liked. There's some like little fly or something in there. It was a fun time. I'm kind of curious because we are clearly going into the way of like dimensional collapse. I think personally, if I had to assess where this is all going, and I'm sure I'll be wrong, but just in general, it's going to, like, weirdly enough, be we're kind of gonna go the Asian route and try and revive and like collapse all of these reflections together and remake the world, like, but in a way that doesn't annihilate everyone. We still have Mercidia, the southern continent. We still have I forgot what it's called, but the middle continent, like below Garlean, that area that has not been explored, so I'm sure we'll get to that in the next few expansions. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I liked it. It's fun. The level 100 armor, 99 armor, whatever it is, at least for the red mage, is been great. It's amazingly good. And yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I don't know the vitriol that a lot of people have. It's okay to enjoy something that's fine. It doesn't have to be the best ever. It doesn't have to be the worst ever. If there's like one big, like if it were me, because I didn't like Wuk Lamat, but like people are like so fucking over, just so disgusting. To like, I guess the English voice actress, I think she did fine. I don't really give a shit. People like sending her death threats and stuff. Why? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What? Like, what are we doing? Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? That's weird. Like, I didn't like Wuk Lamat very much. She's like overzealous. The toxic positivity would be the word that comes to mind. It's like, oh yeah, it's like she's okay. I'm not a morning person at all, obviously. She is like the person, the people that are like up at 6 o'clock and super chipper and ready to start the day. Like, they are the worst fucking people. If you're one of those people, I'm sorry, you're the worst. Nobody likes you. But I don't care enough to like send people like death threats. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people, man? It's a fucking video game. If you don't like it, don't play it. But like millions of people do. I think it's still like even better than WoW, like easily. I think most people think that's why Final Fantasy XIV has become such a juggernaut. It's Square Enix's like moneymaker, and rightfully so. I've been playing this shit since 1.0 beta. I was the person that I was fucking moron that bought the collector's edition for it, and everyone hated it. It was not a great game for sure, but now it's like one of the staples of the industry. And to just, I don't know. Some reviewers, they're just, it seems like a lot of energy is expended on hating something just as much as this. It's like, dude, yeah, okay, this is probably the worst of the expansions. It's still okay though. It's not bad by any means. Have you guys like played Big Rigs or like Fester's Quest or any like shovelware like that? Those games are like 0, 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. This is not that. Like, what the like, people are so fucking stupid and retarded, but whatever. That's what I think about Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail, and we're gonna do 7.1 MSQ.